welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. And today's reading is for Virgo for January 2026. Virgo, I hope that you had a wonderful holiday season. Can't believe that we're already into the new year, but very excited to do the first reading of the new year here for you. Just a reminder, these are general readings, so the messages may or may not resonate. The only way to get a truly personalized reading would be to order one of those with me if you're interested. All the information is in the description box for how you can do that. For the reading, I'm using the Gilded Tarot deck today by Ciro Marchetti, doing a 10-card Celtic cross spread. I do also encourage you to watch not just your sun sign reading, but also your moon and rising. That way you'll have a more complete overview of the energy surrounding you at this time. And if you do enjoy the reading today, please do consider giving it a thumbs up, right? Give the video a thumbs up. You might want to subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be notified whenever I do post new content. And if you're looking for more frequent content like daily, weekly, shorter videos, you can find me over on TikTok. I'm at Changing Phases Tarot on TikTok. All right, let's get going then, Virgo. So you begin in the center position with the Queen of Wands. You might be dealing with an older fire sign individual, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Could be a mother figure, your own mother, mother of your children, or you taking on the energy of this Queen of Wands. And she is a very powerful, right, very dynamic energy. She's also very alluring, very beautiful. There could be a focus on your outward appearance with this Queen of Wands showing up, because she's typically, as you can see on the card, she's a very beautiful, beautiful woman. But with her being the Queen of Wands, the suit of Wands, it has to do with the work that we do, our career. It's also our own drive, passion, determination for, our own career or creative projects and endeavors. And she's very dynamic, right? She's very good at starting up new things, so like starting up a business, or if she goes into a new job, she's great at multitasking. So she's a very powerful energy to have sitting center of your spread. What could help or hinder the crossing energy is the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords, it represents, taking a time out to rest, recuperate. When the Four of Swords shows up, it can actually be you physically recovering from something. So from an injury, could be a more significant injury like a surgery, to more like trivial injury, even though it's annoying, like a gym injury. You've hurt yourself in one of your exercise classes, so you need to take a little time to rest, recuperate. Could also just be mentally recovering, right? The Suit of Swords, it has to do with our mind, it's communication. It's also how we get our thoughts across to other people, right? So it's very cerebral energy, and it's about retreating, just taking that time out to rest, recover. Could be to work on yourself, right? To mentally recharge, especially after the holiday period, right? This could be you just kind of taking a bit of time out for yourself. You might actually be taking time off work, before, or there might be sort of this interval between when the holidays end and when you actually start back in the new month. We have in the foundation, right, in the deep past, the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is oftentimes referred to as a stalemate card. There's, being in two minds about something, needing to make a decision, but thinking that you don't have all of the information that you need to make that decision, right? So for whatever reason, thinking that you don't quite have everything that you need to be able to make a good decision about something. But the sort of the message of the Two of Swords is, you see she's wearing this blindfold. One, if she were to just remove the blindfold, she might have a better view of the situation to make that decision. Or two, she's been guided to, tap into her intuition, listen to that inner knowledge, that inner knowing, and that would help her make the decision. In the recent past, you have Major Arcana number 11, Justice. It's a very powerful energy. Some of you might be dealing with the justice system, right? So dealing with like the lawyer, the courts. If you do have or if you have had, does sit in the recent past. If you have had any type of legal proceedings going through the court system, typically when the justice card shows up, it's a more favorable outcome. So you finding out that things have gone in your favor with a ruling. For others, this could be karmic justice being served. It's also about the scales of justice sort of being balanced out here. The justice is also, it's associated with the air sign of Libra. So there might be, a Libra individual. And we don't see the sword on this particular depiction, but, usually there's like a sword of justice, representing kind of that clarity of mind, going back to this, needing to make a decision. So this could be, in the recent past, maybe something to do with this legal proceedings, or, this karmic justice being served. Maybe that brought in the clarity of mind that you needed to be able to make a decision. And there's this movement here, right? The Eight of Cups is one of the two movement cards in the tarot, in the sort of in the pip cards, right? The minor arcana. And it represents leaving behind a situation, right? You can see that the person on the card, he has turned his back, holding his staff here, and he is headed in a brand new direction. Even though he's not sure, what lies ahead, he knows that he can no longer stay where he is, right? At one point, all of these cups represented something that brought him joy, happiness, but, they no longer do, and he just needs to move on. So it is a card of movement. So movement is kind of on your mind here in the month of January, and moving on from a situation. Yeah, and you're tired. The Ten of Wands, I want to say this came out for one of the other earth signs that I've already done the readings for. But in the near future, the Ten of Wands, you're ready to set down the wands. You can see he's trying to make it back to his home, carrying this, even though it is positive because it's sort of this harvest of wands that he has. Tens in the tarot, they do represent like culminations or endings, or it's like the ultimate in that particular suit. So, when he was just carrying one wand, that was fine. It wasn't that heavy. He might have taken on another wand in the workplace scenario. This would be, you started doing one job. They asked you to take on additional responsibilities. You ended up doing your job, another person's job, and it just kept piling on. And it's just tiring, and you're ready to put the wands down and head off in a new direction, or you're ready for this 10 to go back to the Ace of Wands, which is like new cycle, the new job coming in. The suit of wands itself, as I mentioned, with this Queen of Wands at the center, typically is to do with the work that you do, creative projects and endeavors. So there's this need to kind of put down the wands, and you're ready to begin a new cycle. You appear as the Seven of Cups, which, the Seven of Cups is about needing to make a decision. Again, this to do with a decision, but it has to do with choices. And you can see that each of the cups here on the card, each cup represents something that that you would enjoy, that you would like to choose. We can see that there's this could be like a new job. This could have to do with a new way for you to make money. It could be your love relationship. But until you actually pick one of the cups and bring it down into reality, they're all just sort of these fantasies up in the air. So I need to decide, what is it that's going to bring you happiness, right? In your surroundings, in your environment, you have the Three of Swords. So some type of disappointment here. It is, as I was saying with this Two of Swords, there's progression here, because we've moved from this 2 to the 3. Obviously, the Three of Swords can be challenging because it's, it can represent a disappointment. In a love situation, it would be like that third-party situation, right? Heartache. But in general terms, it's, any type of disappointment. But it sits in your, surroundings, in your environment. Your hopes and fears, you're hoping for growth, you're hoping for abundance, right? Threes in the tarot typically represent growth potential, fertility, abundance. The Empress, again, like I was saying with this Queen of Wands, she's usually a very beautiful, she's very sort of this outward beauty, very alluring. So there could be a definite focus on your appearance at this time. You might be getting back into the gym, working on your appearance. You might decide to do a sort of a makeover, makeover of yourself, your hair, or your wardrobe, right? It is the first month of the year, so that might be going on as well. But the Empress can also be to do with, you know, actual growth. So for some of you, you might be finding out that you're pregnant at this time, or somebody close to you, you know, is pregnant. But in the work situation, like in that type of environment, it will be about growth potential of, say, a new, you know, if there's a new project, or if it's like a new business venture, the growth potential surrounding that, because threes do represent this, you know, growth. So you're hoping for either this pregnancy, news of a pregnancy, or for this growth potential. You have, as the outbound energy, the star. This is another major arcana, number 17, associated with the air sign of Aquarius. And I don't think I told you, the Empress is associated with Taurus and Libra. So there's two signs, but Taurus and Libra, so earth and air energy with the Empress. But the star is about, well, it's a card of healing. It can also be a card of wish fulfillment, so having your wishes come true, right? Setting your intentions, putting them out into the universe, and then trusting that the universe will provide. So wish fulfillment, again, a card of healing, much like I was saying with this taking time out to rest, recuperate. The star is all about healing, whether this is physically healing, emotionally healing, but it's also, you know, having all of your wishes and dreams come true. If you are going out for a job, the star card is usually you in the spotlight, or if you're on social media, it's like you might be standing out, you know, you're in the spotlight, getting noticed. If you do produce content, this could be having one of your videos going viral, something along those lines. And bottom of the deck, we have another queen. So we have the Queen of Wands at the center, and we have the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck as the overall energy for the month. And you actually have, I mentioned that the Eight of Cups is one of the two movement cards. You have the other movement card that was immediately beneath this Queen of Pentacles, which is the Six of Swords, which is moving on, right? So there's this movement, heading in a new direction, leaving behind choppy waters, heading into calmer waters, travel by water, across water, traveling internationally. So for some of you, there could be travel coming in this month. There might be, you might be in two minds about, about traveling or going for this new job if it is in a new place. But ultimately, you have this Queen of Pentacles coming in, and she is the Earth Mother, and she is very good at making money, at holding on to the money that she is, that she does earn. She's very good at taking care of her home, her family. She's very stable, very reliable energy, with, as this Queen of the Suit of Pentacles. So a focus on career, home, your finances. I'm just looking over the spread here to see if there are any other messages coming through. No, it's, it's quite clear that there's a need to make a decision. And it could be about, this saying, okay, enough is enough. I'm ready to sort of walk away from this place where I'm currently working. I'm ready to choose, if it's, okay, if not this job, then what, with the Seven of Cups, what is going to bring me joy? And it could be heading in a completely different direction with the Eight of Cups showing up, the Six of Wands, the Six of Swords. And it's you in the spotlight. I mean, this is great energy to have, wish fulfillment as you head into the next month. So it looks like a very important month for you this month. So I do hope that the messages have helped. I thank you for joining me here today. Again, if you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful month of January. Bye for now.